Hi, this is Richard Kuhns, a former skin parasite sufferer. Itchy skin parasites can question your sanity. Itchy skin parasites can drive you out of your mind. In fact, most who contract them are also driven to depression because the doctors they turn to for help are totally ignorant about the skin parasites. Take Morgellons, for example. Until the beginning of this century, no one ever heard of the disease. It is a name given in 2002 by Mary Leto for a skin condition characterized by a range of symptoms, including crawling, biting, and stinging sensations, finding fibers on or under the skin, and persistent skin lesions, rashes, and sores. Not that it hasn't been around for centuries. In fact, it's possible that Job in the Christian Old Testament suffered from such a skin parasite. For decades, most physicians denied the existence of the disease. In fact, many still do. It's totally awesome that someone could seek medical help with the symptoms that I went through before and be told by the doctor that nothing was wrong, that the symptoms were caused by neurotic scratching, and that if the patient left the lesions alone, they'd heal. In fact, it's not unusual for doctors to diagnose the patient as having delusions of parasites, or claim that the open sores and rashes are caused by the patient scratching them, and claim that the infection is from a bacterial infection from one's fingernails. And what's even more crazy is that if two or more members of the same family have the same symptoms, it's diagnosed as folie à deux, or folie à trois. That's for three of them. I don't know what they do for six. Well, that's right. Psychiatrists actually give these diagnoses to skin parasite sufferers. In fact, one of the most common comments I receive when I speak with itchy parasite sufferers is how refreshing it is for them to speak with someone who understands what they are going through. Not only do the doctors often think that they are mental cases, but so do the people with whom they live, unless the spouse also has been infected. Yes, it is possible for one person to be infected and no one else in the household. On the other hand, these parasites can be highly contagious and infect the entire family, and anyone who may spend more than a few minutes sitting in an infected chair, lying in an infected bed, or a futon. Although there are microscopic images of the parasite suspected as the culprit, there are no diagnostic procedures available to diagnose the organisms. Thus, one has to primarily go by symptoms. And the symptoms that are prevalent have to do with the fibers that fluoresce under an ultraviolet light growing from the skin and lesions. What we know is that there are most likely various strains of Morgellons, probably dozens. In fact, Morgellons is not the only itchy skin parasite. There are at least two other itchy skin parasites with which I'm familiar: Columella, that's springtails, and Strongyloides. And as long as we're talking about itchy skin, there's also skin fungus, another little monster. Strongyloides is a nematode. It's rather rare. Some resources call it a threadworm, others a roundworm. It's transferred from the feces in an animal, most often a bird, rat, or mice. It can also be transferred directly from any infected animal, humans, pets, and even down to mites, bedbugs, and so on. Its life cycle is rather amazing. It exists internally, and then with part of its life cycle, it surfaces to the skin where it is highly disruptive to the infected animal and also highly contagious to other animals. Diagnosis can be made from stool samples if examined microscopically within 20 minutes. Otherwise, from labs that run an antibody serum test for Strongyloides. Our planet has over 6,000 species of Columella. Unfortunately, at least one species has found animals to be a desirable host. They generally feed on decaying matter and will be found in the garden. But the species that raises hell with animals is usually transferred by an infected animal or by various mites that reside on rats, mice, birds, and other animals, even bedbugs. Not that all bedbugs and mites are carriers. Just the infested ones are carriers. No test is available for diagnosis. One woman had a pigeon nest on her air conditioner outside her bedroom window. As the air blew from the air conditioner, she felt a biting sensation on her skin. Once they get into the home, they can infest your rugs, furniture, clothing, air ducts. They'll get into your automobile and remain a threat for years and years. If you walk on an infected rug, you can feel them jumping on your ankles. And when they detect a heat source, such as a warm body, they can spring several inches, hence the name springtails. Steam doesn't kill them. As bleak as these parasites sound, life can get back to near normal. Personally, I contracted both columella and strongyloides in the mid-90s and was one of the first to get my life back to normal, and have since helped dozens and dozens of sufferers do the same with a diet I discovered. I named it the King Diet because it's king when it comes to dealing with all three types of skin parasites I've talked about, and also skin fungus. Along with bathing and disinfection protocols, selected medication, and diet, as outlined in my ebook, How to Get Your Life Back from Morgellons and Other Skin Parasites, many have gotten their lives back to normal. Go to www.skinparasitesebook.com. Just spell out skin parasites, in plural form parasites, ebook.com. Have a great life.